Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. I finally saw the movie that my friend Prashant recommended to me, and all I can say is thank you so much for recommending this fabulous film to me, because it is nothing short of spectacular. This movie is enlightening, it's heartwarming, enjoyable. There is suspense, romance, intrigue, plenty of humor, and the music is just phenomenal. I love the music in this film. The movie itself is called Three Idiots. It's loosely based on a story called 5 Point Somebody, and it's about these two friends, Raju and Farhan, who are going to this really prestigious engineering college, and they meet this teacher's pet. They call him Silencer. I'm not going to say why, but it's very amusing. They meet another fellow by the name of Rancho Cheras, and they gave him the nickname Rancho because Rancho Cheras is way too long to say, it just garbled in your mouth. But Rancho, it's not his real name, but you figure that out later at the very end of the film. But Rancho, he changes their lives. He makes them think from a completely different perspective. And his mantra, one of my favorite songs of the entire film, All Is Well, is actually one of my own. And it was one that I learned relatively recently from the Chopra Center, and I just thought that it was very apropos, just the way I see everything in life. It's just such a good message in and of itself, because no matter how bad things will get, everything is going to be alright in the end, because there's a greater power than you watching over you, and everything will turn out to be fine in the end. You have to be patient sometimes and see how matters will come out and rectify themselves. And I love this movie. I think it's wonderful. It doesn't really have any lags per se, and even the main character, I guess you would call him the headmaster or the dean of the school. They call him Virus for good reason. He has a change of heart toward the end of the film, and I'm not going to say what it is, but he comes to realize the error of his ways, particularly with what you learn about his firstborn, his son. And then you've got his two daughters, and it's really intriguing to see what happens with the two daughters, Mona and Pooch. And it's just really a magnificent film. It's wonderful, wonderful, and I give it 4 stars, 5 stars if I could give it, 2 thumbs way up. I adore this Bollywood film. The music is probably my favorite thing. I love All Is Well. I liked Zooby Dooby. I thought that was just a really fun, light-hearted song. I like this song that Joy sings. He's more of a tragic character, and I'm not going to go into detail as to why, but his song, Give Me Sunshine, Give Me Rain, it brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it. But sorry, I'm just okay, confession time. I'm kind of a little bit concerned about my dad, and I know that I really shouldn't be. He's using a far red device to help his back, but he just hasn't really done anything today, and it's not like him to do that. And I'll admit to you that I am a little bit concerned, and just gotta take that advice to heart. So all is well. It'll be okay. Sorry. I'll be alright. But anyway, I didn't mean to get into a little bit of a sob fest during this review, and it just wasn't my intention, but sometimes it happens. And just if you like Bollywood, then I would definitely recommend this film. I think it is on par with Slumdog Millionaire. It's just exceptional. And it's less depressing than Slumdog Millionaire, although Slumdog Millionaire has a happy ending. It's a good lesson for all of us who are going into school and we're told what we should be from everybody else, and why can't we make our own decisions? Because I'm myself going through an existential crisis. Well, I shouldn't say an existential crisis, because the crisis sounds horrible, but it's really not a crisis. What I think this is just another way to open myself up and see what opportunities will present themselves around the bend for me. We'll see what happens. I have a positive outlook, and I'm nothing if not optimistic about what the future holds for me, but I got off track. I'm sorry, and I cried, and forgive me for that too. I didn't mean to. It happens sometimes. I'm a human being. So I love this movie, and I'm going to have it in my collection because I feel it deserves a place in my collection. It's just such a tremendous film. And I hope that, like Rancho, I can make an impact for other people in their lives. And it's not for me. I don't want the fame. I don't want the glory. I don't want any of that. I just want to be able to make the world a better place. That's the only thing I want to do, is just help people and let other people realize just how just how amazing life is in and of itself, and just seize the day for what it is and what it's worth, and live in the present moment. That's all I could say. That's what I've learned from this film. It's just, there really isn't that much more to say. That is at the core, the basis of what Rancho says, and I take it to heart. I think that what he says is just absolutely terrific, and I hope that I have it etched upon my heart for all eternity, because it just is such a calming notion, and everything will be well. This is true. It will be, because like I said, everything works out for the good. So you just have to keep on trucking, and don't let anybody who says, well, you're just an optimist and this is not how real life works, and poppycock. Don't listen to any of the naysayers. They're just, they'll try to pull you down. And Rancho is a good example of that. He did what he loved. He did his passion. He loved what he did, and a lot of people don't do that, and that's why they don't live long, fruitful lives, because they don't do what they feel is what they are called, their vocation. But I feel that I'm reaching that point. I don't know what my vocation is yet, but I think that I'm getting there, and I'm hoping that these 2 courses I'm taking will be the eureka moment for me, and I will keep you informed on that, and as well as my dad. And basically that's all I have to report, other than slight spoiler, a teaser. I haven't really finished this script yet, but it's called Love in the Sea, and my 2 main characters are here, Caspian and Calypso, and it's basically about a seaman who, he's a fisherman, and that's the way he makes his living, and he hears just an angelic beatific voice from the wharf, the dock area, just the seaside where all the businesses are, and he's intrigued by it. Once he finds out that it's not a siren or a mermaid like he originally believed, or his crew people believed, and they also they were warning him to be precautious about this, and you know what happens to sailors who are lured in by the song of the siren. They die. Of course, they drilled that home, and he said, well, fish can wait. I'm going to go and investigate, see who that voice belongs to. Once he figures out it's Calypso, he's deliriously in love with her, and he offers her work on his vessel, the Fruta del Mar, and he feels guilty having recruited her for work, because he knows that she's not entirely pleased with this, and that's basically where I am right now. And it'll have a happy ending, but it's really a lot of fun to write so far, and I get a lot of joy of writing stories like this. And the next one I write, it was originally going to be called Agent Stupid, but I thought that was a horrendous name, so I called it Ace Monroe, because that's my main character, and it's a mixture of Johnny English meets Austin Powers, so it's gonna be a lot of really a lot of fun once I get going into that, and just fleshing out Ace as a character, because he's gonna be a complete moron. And aren't the stupid characters the most fun to write for? I mean, come on. But anyway, that's all I have to report for now, so stay tuned for further updates.